Peace and elevation, Steezy Gang. Welcome back to another diabolical video. First off, I want to start this video off with saying please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it if y'all would do so. Helping a brother out, trying to build this diabolical empire, as you can see. You feel me? But with that being said, yes, by what you see on the title, this is a diabolical video about how I came about my spiritual journey. I'm just gonna unfold a little bit of information about my path up until this point. So, growing up in Baltimore, Maryland, the feel and idea that everyone has about Baltimore, diabolical pretty much, but not diabolical in a good way, diabolical in a bad way. People give it a bad rep. It's a lot of love over there in that city. It's a lot of nice families. It's a lot of good over there, not just what they show. You feel me? So I don't want to just have that be the main picture that Baltimore is just such a terrible place to be, because it's not. But with that being said, there is a lot of violence and a lot of chaos out there. But me personally, me growing up out over there, I experienced a lot, seen a lot, had to endure a lot, struggle with a lot of family situations, custody battles, me having to bounce from home to home, have to transfer from school to school, seeing, abuse on, my mother and stuff like that. So I was never really shown the right way to love, the right way to communicate, the right way to, properly express my emotions. So obviously a manifestation of that is what is what comes out of it. You're a product of your environment. But I've always had a passion for football. I've always had a passion for being active, doing things outside of what was just right in front of me. I will say that was my savior in a sense, my guardian angel, my ancestors guiding me along the way, keeping me focused, even though there's a whole bunch of chaos on the outside of what's going on in life. But for whatever reason, well, I know the reason now, but I was able to stay focused and see the vision for myself. That's really what it comes down to. It's just seeing the path, no matter what's the distractions, what's going on around you. If you have a goal in mind, just make sure you keep your eyes set on that. You'll be able to, overcome anything. Fast forward to me getting into high school, all of that stuff from my past and upbringing, has manifested into me becoming more of a person. So now I have a little bit more ego, because when you get older, you start developing ego. So I started developing the ego, things that I do like and don't like, types of things I want to indulge in and don't want to indulge in. But I pretty much was still the same straight and narrow path. Like didn't do drugs, didn't drink alcohol, didn't really party much in high school. Really was just focusing on football, hanging out with my homies. Really wasn't in a position to do much. Didn't really have a whole bunch of money, so it wasn't like I was able to go buy a car. I will say my upbringing in high school did kind of make me feel like I was in a shell. So once I wanted to go to high school, once I wanted to go to college, that's when I really was like, okay, I really can be my full self, and I don't have to deal with the restrictions and limitations of being in a confined environment, really. Once I got to college, I'm still dealing, not unknowingly, there's a lot of things that I needed to work on as far as regulating my emotions, my temper, my anger, sexual urges. I was really in my sacral chakra, just because, it's just what the environment was in college, and being caught up in that environment, being on a team and stuff like that, you kind of fall victim to, the norm in college, I would say. But I'm not saying that should be the norm. I'm just saying in general, the norm. In college, I was kind of trying to do work because I knew I wasn't really being the best person. So I would try to do things to improve, as far as doing some guided meditation, slowing down and reflecting on myself and my own actions. And things started to pick up, but people still see you based on your first impression of what you gave them. So a lot of people still held me to what they saw since they began, and they never could see the growth. But it's really about what you see in yourself at the end of the day. Once I started to get out of college and then football was pretty much up, I had to figure out my purpose. I was kind of lost in myself. I was lost with, what do I do next? If football isn't in the cards for me, I hadn't worked all this way up to this point just for it to not work out. So I went into a bit of a state of, I guess you can consider it depression. I've never been a depressed person. No matter what I've gone through in my life, I've always found the optimistic view of things and trying to see the glass half full. But things took a turn for the worse, not in a crazy way, but just I kind of gave up on my diet. I gave up on fitness. I gave up on a lot of things, not to the point where I got chunky, but it was really just, I was low, pretty much. I feel like that's the best word to explain it, even though I don't even know if that's a word or not. But I feel like I was just low, really. I was just down and didn't really have much drive. The fire wasn't under me as much as it normally is. Then I kind of started to rely on myself a little bit. I realized that there's no one else that's going to do the job besides me. There's no one else that's going to pick me up and dust me off and get me to where I want to go to and what I see for myself, unless it's me that does it. So I had to take the steps too. So I had to get a job. Y'all seen the videos back of me quit that job, but forever grateful for that job because it allowed me to find TikTok, allowed me to start making an income for myself. Then I started modeling, and then everything transformed to what it is today. But with that being said, I had to really build myself back up. And throughout that process, those videos, if you go back to last year, I really was trying to build myself up, build myself back up, even with the content. Content is art, and a lot of people try to downplay content, but hey, shit, you never know what you can do. You never know what opportunities that you can have from content. So I never knock anybody that's making content. If you got something you want to share with the world, go ahead and do so. What really got me into spirituality and tapping into my spiritual journey and just being an electrifying God, once I started doing some deep digging of self. And I did try my first candy from the Magic Leaf, and it just opened my eyes to a whole new perspective of life. And I never did nothing like that up until that day. And then I knew, I felt that it was something deeper. I felt there was something deeper in myself. I'm like, bro, like I know I'm connected to something else. Like it's just so much out here. And I started getting back into meditation, meditating twice, 3 times a day, man. It just really opened my eyes. It made me feel better, it made me feel more at peace. Let me use that. I don't want to say happy because, there's, you gotta be real careful about the words you use at the same time. But I just felt at peace with life, and I was just so grateful with everything. So I started changing my perspective of things, and then things started coming to me. And then I started seeing how the universe reflects on how you feel in the inside. And, the rest is history. And as we continue this video, I'll get more and more into depth about my spiritual journey. But just wanted to share this quick, little snippet with y'all. As y'all can see what I do throughout my week. Y'all know how I get down. Diabolical lifts all the time, diabolical fruits, diabolical lifestyle. And we're just going to keep on elevating from here. We back, Diabolical Steezy gang. I know y'all missed me. It's been a minute since y'all done seen some crazy leg pumps. But I got something special for y'all today. Complete annihilation. And I'm gonna break down how I tapped into some spirituality stuff. Everybody tapped in and we all connected to the divine, but it's whether or not you really harness that energy and continually practice for you to really, be fully connected. Warm up set, so don't even try to trip about the weight. Woo. Before we get into this diabolicalness, let me just say about how I really came across the spiritual journey. I mean, I really always felt like I was connected to something higher outside of religion. I never really was religious to begin with, even though that's kind of the traditional way of every family, really. They just want y'all to believe in something. They want us all to believe in something. We know, you feel me? You can feel it that shit be fake.
Like even when you in church, you see people doing all that hollering and shit. You be like, I don't know what they feeling, but that shit don't seem real. But back to what I'm saying, like getting sleep paralysis and stuff, all of that stuff is like astral projection without you even really knowing it. Chills on the body, hair standing up on the skin, all of that stuff is just signals from ancestors, your intuition. It goes so deep as to just hidden information that was right in front of us that we didn't pay attention to. But let me get into this diabolicalness. Easy money. What's so crazy is you can see the evolution of my spiritual growth throughout the videos. Like if you look back at a couple of my videos from before, you just see how I spoke differently. Even getting comfortable in front of the camera was way different than before. A lot of mumbo jumbo words. I had to find my way of self because it's really just like communicating to your homie in the camera instead of trying to think of it as it like it needs to be like a big announcement. You feel me? Just talk as if you was talking to your homie. So now I feel like my way of communicating is way better. Even when it comes, even though this is completely different than what I just was talking about. Like even when it comes to anger, I still have little flares that have come up here and there, but I'm way more in control of myself. Ever since I didn't really dug deep into, sitting still, it's had phenomenal wonders. And there's plenty of ways to meditate, not just breathing, closing your eyes the traditional way. You could jot stuff down. Listening to music is another meditative form. Creating art, going for a walk, anything where it brings you some sense of calmness is meditation. But time for this diabolical hamstring curl. They already on fire. Easy peasy. Easy peasy. Got some diabolical squats for y'all. If this shit don't make you really question everything, then I don't know what do. Squats and leg press. And when I used to do deadlifts, probably was like the most diabolical exercises I had to do for legs. I wasn't much of a leg workouter when I was in college. But once I started tapping into this fitness content, I felt like I really had no choice but to really, build the legs because I had a pretty proportionate physique already, but I'm not about to focus on solely just the upper body. When you got these legs that breed the testosterone, they bring the testosterone back up. So shit, if you're not doing legs, your man not getting a lot of blood flow. So good this is right here. So good. Get to learning more about yourself. Let's go. This is my second set, by the way. Come on. Come on, one more. Good money.
This has nothing to do with the spiritual journey, but I gotta show y'all my new baby Chi Chi. Look at this baby. Say hello to Nova. She about to meet her baby sis. Well, her big sis. One more time. Oh my goodness, Nova. I know this video is supposed to be about spirituality, but you have to see this gorgeous baby. Say hi, Nova. Say hi, Nova. The other Chi-Chi baby, Chi-Chi mama. Look at her, look at her. Look at her, she getting bigger too, y'all peep her. She in her grown girl status. All right, so we back. like I just said. So, I mean, obviously this video is a little bit different as far as like the typical videos that I normally do. We had some diabolical pumps in there. But, you know, like I said, throughout the transition of like my life in general, I know y'all have seen it from when I first started doing the YouTube stuff, just me being myself, how much I've evolved over the years. I got 2 cats now. Um, I'm over here saying over the years, like it's been a long time. It's only been a year me doing YouTube. I'm almost at 100 videos. At first, I was just spitting them videos out over and over and over and over and over and over again. But I feel like that's not the approach I wanted to have. Xena keep on rubbing me. Y'all want to see her? Look at her. Look at her. From before to now, man. She getting big. She greedy as ever, though. Greedy as ever. The reason she rubbing on me right now is because she wants some food. Before, I was just spitting out content without really putting much effort into it. As of lately, I've dialed in on how I want to structure my content, me showing a little bit more of my personality, just expanding my creativity level. You feel me? So I didn't now put out more about my spiritual journey. I kind of do it in a different way where it's more about nutrition, fitness, and overall well-being. But people don't really know too much about the spiritual journey from social media. So if you're on here and you came from social media, yeah, this is the true essence of me. I meditate twice a day, 3 times a day when I'm really getting into a deep mode meditating status. If we're coming up on some holiday seasons, because holidays, well, let me explain. Pagan holidays is man-made holidays that aren't really true, and there's some satanic meanings behind the true essence of what these holidays actually underline, but it's kind of dumbed down to just buying people gifts, celebrating Valentine's Day, getting someone flowers and chocolate. Like, that's not what these truly mean. But I'm not gonna sit here and debunk those things right now because it's not really my place to. But if you really want to figure out what those mean, drop a comment down below. I'll actually make a video about that type of stuff. But back to what I'm saying, as far as like my spiritual journey and how I came to be who I am now, and how I'm so excited for the future and everything that's transpiring, man. It's just, you gotta be grateful for each day. So ever since I tapped into my spirituality through meditation, I focus on things that I want to bring into my life at the beginning of my day, visualizing my day, visualizing my future, focusing on my manifestations. If I do a third one, then I'm just simply just being, just quiet in my mind, focusing on how I feel and being in that moment, allowing myself to have that moment of silence forever, how long it may be. And then towards the end of the day is everything I want to release, anything that I want to drop, anything that's weighing me down, any sort of negativity or negative energy that's maybe been latched onto me. By that time, I'm trying to remove it out of my tourist field, really. It just goes so deep as far as this vessel, man. Is we are not the body, we are the spirit. You feel me? We are the soul. You are the vehicle that's sitting in here. If you close your eyes, you're still conscious. So that's how you know you're not the body. You feel what I'm saying? So you just gotta be more aware of self. And especially with society today, we're so artificial now. And me, myself, I notice it. That's why I kind of separated myself from certain people throughout my experiences of existence so far. You know, I've came to the realization that it's not going to be many people like me that I may come across. So I got to be okay with that. I noticed that in school, even though I wasn't at my highest level of maturity when I was in college and high school, I still felt deeper than majority of people, you know? I may be wrong, and some people that may have felt just as deep. I mean, I never came across those people, but we still be cool to this day. I just felt like it was a lot of artificialness now, then, and you know, everywhere. So as we evolve into this new time of life, I feel like it's important that people know who they are, know themselves. Make sure you tapping into self. Make sure you focusing on what's important, which is your close circle. We got family members who, you know, may not be vibrating at the same frequency as you, and if they aren't, then, you know, don't bring yourself down by trying to force them to be in your field, because all that's going to do is lower your vibrational frequency, because everything is light. We're all manifestations of light. So don't let someone else dim your light, even if they're in your family. If they bring in darkness, and nothing's wrong with darkness, but if they're dimming your light or they're being a cloud over your bright shiny day, fuck them, get them up out of there. As simple as that. Because there's really no sense of having that around when we're all trying to transcend and grow and go upward. And that goes for everything. If you're trying to progress in life with your job, content, career, business, anything, you feel me, self, like bringing the kundalini energy up, everything is upward, everything is forward. We on the timeline spectrum where we go like this and everything vibrates around it. So if you make a decision, you could branch off to an alternate timeline. It's really just about having a balance of life. So that's really what I focus on when I am tapping more so into my spirituality, being clear in my intentions, focusing more on the present, focusing more on what I want to bring into my life. Because if you're trying to manifest something, or if you're trying to bring anything into your life, it has to be clear in your mind first. Because everything that you see was a manifestation. You feel me? Me, myself, is a manifestation of my parents, a physical manifestation of what they had in their mind. You feel me? When they was getting it on. So, I mean, even this cat box, this Tiki baby cat box, you feel me? It was a manifestation first. Someone said, oh, maybe we should make baby food for cats with, whole ingredients for like their species, for carnivores in general. You feel me? And then they put it in a box, cardboard box, and they had the label and all of that stuff. And they started advertising shit. One more thing I gotta say when it comes to the spirituality that I even myself deal with, because once you put the glasses on, you can't take the shit off. And that's the hardest part, because now that you have them on, you are no longer ignorant to things. You're aware of stuff. So you can't be in bliss when someone else who may not know the information you may know can just, trot through life like this. You feel me? Carefree. When you know that there's a whole bunch of shit going on around us, but it's all being disguised through marketing, TV, movies, all types of stuff, pictures, advertising, magazines, everything. It's all over the place. Do you feel me? So that's where it comes to having a sense of balance and understanding that it's not always going to be an easy journey, but you got to fall in love with the journey. Also, when you got the magic glasses on, you can't force no one else to put them on. So if someone's closed-minded and they are brainwashed, shit, you got to let them be where they at. You have to let them be where they at. That's the hardest thing to do if it's someone that you care about that don't want to open their eyes to, what's around them that they may not see. 5 elements on the hand: plasma, water, ether, which is why the middle finger is so significant, fire, which is why they put the wedding band on the ring finger. It's a dominant finger, but they put a feminine energy on it to balance. Air, your pinky finger. Everything is connected, bro. If you really tap into self, I got the Book of Wisdom, and I also have this other book, 7 Steps to Living Your Best Life. This is one of my favorite books that I've been tapping into so far. My mom also sent me the Book of Wisdom. I'm gonna show y'all another good book that you want to tap into. I'm telling you, tell you everything, and it's got pictures. For my people that don't like to read, you see, when we was playing hopscotch as kids, this is the diagram. This is the diagram of us. You feel me? The diagram. They tell you about religion and how it's the secrets of it and what the true religion is, which is self. We are God. You are God. You feel me? Tell you about the body. So make sure y'all tapping into this, man. Make sure y'all tapping into self. That's the most important thing. I know it's people, when you watch this video, you would never thought I'd be on this. But hey, shit, I am. And watch how this greatness comes about. And we all got greatness in us. We just got all different angles of light. That's where you get angels from. All different angles of light. But please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe on this video. I would greatly appreciate it. Road to 10K. I know I haven't been as consistent as I like with the videos. I will start creating more ideas for the videos, and then we're just going to get it rolling from here. Week in my life. This is technically it. I wasn't doing a whole bunch of eating. I will show y'all tomorrow my fast, because tomorrow will be Sunday. So it'll be me doing a fast, me doing some meditative practices, and what I do on a typical Sunday. You feel me? So that's Sunday is my opportunity to reset, recharge my battery, and reassess some ideas for the upcoming week ahead. And I don't really keep track of days no more because there's no such thing as time. And you got to know this. You got to know that they created days of the week for certain energy cycles. They created a clock to keep people working, to keep people in order. There's all a structure, you feel me, of the rat race and all the bots that they want people to keep on being bots. So once you get yourself out of the matrix, you'll know what's truly going on. Welcome back, Diabolical Steezy Gang. As you can see, I did a nice little fresh bip up on myself. Oh my goodness. All my work right here. You know, you gotta admire when you do a phenomenal job and you see the waves coming in because I've been brushing. I am now on the way to Baltimore because I have to do another e-commerce shoot. Super excited for this. And we might have us another client coming along the way. I'm not gonna prematurely announce who they may be. We're just gonna let the universe do what it does. You feel me? And it's been working in our favor every day. You gotta be patient for certain things, but I'm grateful for every experience I've had so far. It's been a journey already. And it's only been a year, really, me doing this. But Steezy Gang. Today's lift was diabolical as well. I know I haven't really been on here and given y'all the full breakdown of the routine. The reason that being is because I thought I should switch it up. Because I show y'all my routine so often, I thought I'd take a break from it because I also had to reassess. You know, I had to reassess, go to the drawing board, figure out how I really want to build this physique of mine. And I think I have the grand master routine. And then on top of that, them saying that you can't grow muscle on a plant-based diet is completely a myth. And then on top of that, the myth of that you can't grow muscle on a plant-based diet, we've already debunked that. But just so I can reiterate it, man, like I've been putting on some mass. And I'm not doing the substitute meats and none of that shit because you gotta pay attention to ingredients, man. They got a whole bunch of crazy shit in there. As of lately, I really became a stickler for paying attention about everything I put in this vessel. You gotta care about what you put in this body because once you put it in the vessel, think about this. Once you put it in your vessel and then it gets digested and absorbed into the bloodstream, it is now a part of you. So whatever you eat will become a part of you. So if you eat meat, and I'm not trying to shame anyone that eat meat. Once you are exposed to certain information, you really can't be ignorant no more. So like once you know the truth about shit, if you decide to be ignorant, then I mean that's really on you, and you gotta deal with the consequences because everything is cause and effect. You feel me? That's the karmic cycle, cause and effect. What you do, there will be a reaction, whether it be a positive or a negative. But stay tuned for me to get into the Diabolical Hotel. I got about an hour and 30 left. Probably do some meditation and stuff like that. And I want to say I'm going to film tomorrow just a little bit for y'all so y'all could just see if they made any new adjustments. Y'all know I can't really show y'all any of the products because it would deduct some money out of my pay and they could potentially sue me if that was the case. So we don't want none of that shit. And we love this client, so you know, might as well keep the relationship strong and sturdy. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't. If you don't, you really fake. If you haven't liked, comment, and subscribe, and you be watching my video up to this point at least, you really fake. Cause come on, like that's what we here for. We here to elevate one another. That's why I say what I say. Peace and elevation, Steezy Gang. Welcome back to another diabolical video. You feel me? Reason that being is cause we elevating, we rising the frequency. So we just gotta keep on speaking out into existence, send that frequency out, raise the vibration of everybody as a collective. Okay, so we are in the room. It's a wee bit dark, so give me 1 second while I turn on the light so y'all can see me clearly. We are back, Steezy Gang. Normally, and I'm not trying to go, normally I'm in like the, the penthouse suite type shit where I'm at the top floor, looking down at the city. They said it's a big rich town. Yeah, I just come from the poet's parts. And the two better, it'll just be me in here. We're gonna save this bed for the Orishas. You feel me? This is the bathroom. Y'all, everybody's seen a hotel bathroom. And the rooms that's upstairs, this be glass. So I mean, I'm still not trying to glow. I'm just telling y'all what it's normally like, but this is a quick trick. Yeah, I'm gonna do some meditation. I'm gonna play my sound bath on YouTube. It's really simple. Like, you could just play some nice frequencies on YouTube and it'll play the same tunes that'll activate the chakras for you. And that will be a nice conclusion of the night for me, because tomorrow y'all gonna see I'm gonna be up at 4 a.m. and we're gonna have a diabolical leg lift before the shoot. You feel me? So the pumps never end. I won't be filming it because I didn't bring my equipment for me to film it, because I wasn't planning on doing it. Just make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. If you don't, you really fake. If you don't like the video right now, you are fake. Go check out my old videos and see how I was before then. Even though that version of myself, I'm proud of him, because he had to endure some shit. You feel me? He had to endure figuring out himself, figuring out his purpose again, getting back his identity, taking his power back. So, yes, let's support one another. Let's always support each other, especially if we trying to do something positive. We always glorifying people doing shit that's crazy. You feel me? Spreading negative energy, we glorify that. But when somebody try to do something positive, or they turn the blind eyes to that. Time is currently 4:57. It's extremely bright in here. You're not necessarily supposed to immediately have light on your eyes, especially artificial light, because you gotta give your eyes time to adjust. But hey, let's get ready for this diabolical lift, diabolical pumps. I got some good rest though. It's real early. About to have the most ferocious lift ever. Doing it faster too. But all right, see y'all once I finish. Diabolical lift complete, Steezy Gang. The most ferocious and diabolical lift ever on the legs. My quads is fully pumped. It feels like I can burst a watermelon if I was to squeeze my legs together. But now I'm about to brush my teeth. I made this toothpaste, and I'm gonna show y'all in a second. But I made it with some baking soda, coconut oil, a little bit of my toothpaste so I get the mint. But this is how I get my teeth nice and white. I can't be giving y'all too many secrets though, cause then everybody gonna wanna be like me and say, well, if you part of Steezy Gang, hey, I drop some gems here and there. Now I am ready to go. It has been real. It has been real at the hotel-y. It look like it's pretty cloudy out. Y'all know they got them fake clouds out. Hey, and if you think I'm just saying shit, make sure you do some research on what cloud seeding is and chemtrails. Make sure you do your own research. I'm tired of being y'all teacher. You feel me? Make sure y'all looking this shit up, because it's out there. Motherfuckers be too lazy to do their own research. But peep the fit for the day. Calm little fit, man. Calm fit. Decent. I fuck with these jeans right here. So y'all see how your boy pulling up on set. Peep the pockets. You feel me? You feel me? Pulling up in style. Rise and shine, Steezy Gang. I didn't document me leaving the studio, nor did I document me going home. But overall, it was a successful and diabolical shoot. Not really much to it. Y'all hadn't seen the facility for the most part. I can't really show y'all any of the products, so it's no point of me, recording anything in there. But it was a successful day. Now I'm on my way to do my recovery day because today is Thursday. So I'm about to do some mobility, some flexibility work, some breath work, open up the chakras in the sun to get this melanin golden, you feel me? And then I'm gonna head to the gym to do some core work. And after I do the core work, it's just gonna be a diabolical day because I'm gonna head out and possibly, I don't really celebrate holidays because we know that holidays is fake. So today is Juneteenth, so I might do something with my homie, who knows? But let's get this diabolical mobility day going and let's start the day off right. The sun is in my face, but found me a nice little spot, nice little patch of grass right here. About to really get some perfect direct contact with, you know, the most powerful healer there is, you feel me? The sun, which gives life to everything around us. Just about to really enjoy this moment. Take this time by being with myself, feeling how my body feels after yesterday and sitting in the car for an extended period of time. Like it had my back feeling a little tight. Gonna work that out today and about to run through some movements. If you haven't checked out my recovery day video, actually didn't really film like that to be a full segment, but I think it was for a full week of eating for me. So check that video out if you haven't. And type, look at that butterfly down there. It feel the energy. If you watched the video this far and you didn't like, comment, subscribe, like, I mean, you know, like just drop one. It really don't cost money to drop one. So just make sure you go do that. But either way, diabolical day, Steezy Gang. Appreciate y'all for tapping in.